If you were to become 5 again, while maintaining everything you already know, what would you do? Grab some condomains. First, I'd color. I'm talking magenta tigers and a really cheerful sun. Then I'd proceed to enjoy my childhood again. Instead of wasting it trying to grow up, I'd treat my siblings better and help my older sibling to grow up more comfortable in her own skin. I'd treat my parents better, and I'd reread all the books. At around 13 to 14 I'd start trying to do odd jobs and save as much money as possible. Then over the next 10 years invest in Google, Apple, and Bitcoin. And I'd do my best to find and meet my friends and significant others, since I don't want to lose them. Easily ace every test, make everyone think I'm a genius, but then become a retard when it gets to 11th grade stuff. I'd totally fill my conversations with blatant innuendo. My neighbor's cat got caught in the rain. I wanted to dry it off, but I love the smell of wet pussy. Are all chicken sandwiches made from hens? What if there's a rooster somewhere and I've accidentally eaten cock meat? Cry because my altered existence means everyone who was born after I was 5 will be someone different. Little sister, cousins, friends, all gone. I would then feel weird about killing a 5-year-old version of myself in an alternate timeline. I probably wouldn't interfere too much with the state of affairs in the world. Wouldn't try to tell anyone I was from the future. A lot of big things would probably still happen, but by no means would be certain. What I would do is just pick up my life where it is right now and keep going forward. I'm at a similar stage where my dad was in school, so I'd just study his physics and engineering books in private. It'd be kinda cool to see my grandparents and great-grandparents and all my family at younger ages. Then by the time I hit 23 again I'll get transported back to being 5 again. I'll think duck. This time around I will duck with everything. Try to make as many predictions as possible and cause as much chaos as I can with knowledge of a few years in advance. I hit 23 and find myself at 5 again. And again and again. I try different things. But now I've lived as long as an old man. But I never get to see any progress into the future. I'm trapped here. I see people born after me as temporary, and they are often very different. The people who were born before me become these constants who I know way too well, as I see them only at one time of their lives. And it happens again, and again, and again. Hundreds of years pass. I've learned everything I can from every perspective that I can. I've mastered every sport. I've gotten PhDs at a young age in every educational discipline. I lived a short life as a hermit. I duck with the timeline. I use my knowledge to gain power in different companies and work towards the goal of finding out what is happening to me. Thousands of years in my time pass. Now when I'm born, the world jumps ahead. At first it was a few years. As I remember more and refine my techniques for establishing power and using thousands of people in each timeline to research what I see fit, the world begins to jump ahead by decades. Then centuries every time I come aware at 5 years old. But I hit a wall. There is only so much you can remember. Only so much you can do. I tried killing myself. But it sends me right back to being 5 years old. Sometimes that was a strategy if I made a mistake in the forward progress. Soon I reach the world to a level of technology that understands what is happening to me and realize that I caused it to myself. I reset the world one more time. I don't want the world to just reflect myself and my goals. I'm Noon. I work in silence with the technologies I have learned to develop over the thousands of years I was alive, only to step in after I no longer know what is going to happen. Fall into a crippling depression as I'm no longer with my wife and my son no longer exists, and knowing there is no way to recreate the circumstances that led to me meeting my wife in the first place. Dad, it's 1979. You should invest in Microsoft. First, what the hell is a Microsoft? Second, my paycheck got boned so hard by inflation we are eating scrambled eggs and fried rice for dinner again. Third, stop asking your teacher to retake your standardized test. try to correct my parents all the time in the most smart aleck way imaginable, whilst doing something like sticking Lego up my asshole, or throwing my dinner on the floor, or whatever the duck a normal 5-year-old does. No daddy, you're not jealous of your friend's nicer car. You're envious that your friend has a nicer car. Jealousy implies fear of being replaced by someone else's crayon. Wonder why I'm 5 again. Buy Bitcoin when it was $0.0001 per coin. I actually daydream about this all the time. I would be the wisest 5-year-old in the world. But to not freak people out, I would keep my thoughts to myself for the most part. When I grew up to be a teenager, I'd ace high school and avoid making poor decisions. I would probably be really bored though, hanging out with my own age group and having an adult's brain. Try to duck all my teachers. All of them. All. My mom would tell me to go to kindergarten, and I'd begin to protest, but then I'd realize I get nap time. So I'd go to kindergarten. I would show my teacher that I'm better at math than her with complex calculus problems. Hostum now manuscript. Speckerman. Invent dank memes before anyone else, and be the ruler of them all. I would pay way more attention in school, actually take it seriously, and take advantage of some pretty nice programs they had in high school. I would probably not work as much as I did when I didn't even need to in high school and immediately afterwards. Actually start saving like my mom told me I should. Thank you for watching. Like, share and check out other videos.